Hey, what's up, plebes? Welcome back to my channel. Wait, which one am I recording this for? Welcome to my new channel, Luxury Aesthetic, with me, Lucy. If you haven't seen my original channel, it's called LUCI. Check that out. And this is a new one, and I don't know, fitness, shit, armpit hair, sour conscious, farming. And I'll be posting an update because I planted watermelon this year at work, so I can't record there because I don't want to get fired, but I'll keep you guys updated and shit. One of them's sprouted, so that's exciting. Today, I wanted to talk about asthma. 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 Side note, my coworker was telling me about how this, he lives in Beverly Center. He was telling me about how there's this restaurant called Eggslut. And I asked him 3 times just to make sure if he actually said it right, like egg slut. And yeah, it is like egg, like huevo, and then slut, like bruja de la noche, like lady of the night. And he was telling me like pretty much it's like, trendy breakfast food or just trendy food, kind of like Earth Cafe, but they spell it with like URTH cafe, kind of like that, like bougie, but not that expensive. And then he was showing me some of the menu items or whatever, and they like seemed pretty chill. And it's like it had a weird way of describing, like for example, Fairfax, which was just a egg over easy with a puree of potato and mild shaving of chive garnish and something. And it didn't make sense to me because you could just say scrambled eggs with mashed potatoes and chives. Like, it makes no sense. But then I was like, how can you have a restaurant be called Eggslut and not have something called shit, how did I write it? Oh, I just made it up in my head. Not have something called like chicken ovaries, period. That just came out of my face. Chicken ovaries, period. And as a menu item, because it would just be eggs over easy with tomato sauce. That was funny. That was funny. Like, high five me. There's my other hand's busy holding the camera, so I thought that was pretty funny. So, what was I talking about again? All right, asthma. I hope you guys like that crappy joke, and let's get into the video. So, pretty much, from my understanding, and I am not a doctor, science guy, a scientist, or a anthropologist, etymologist, picanology, and just stick something to it. From my own personal experience, I was diagnosed with asthma very early age, back when I was like very, very tiny. And so pretty much what I gathered is asthma is when your lungs don't develop properly and you just have trouble doing the most basic function of the human body, and that is breathing. When you can't breathe, your shortness of breath, your lungs close up, that would be asthma. One time, an English teacher in middle school was telling me that it's just like when you just have sacs in your lungs, tiny sacs that just don't fill up completely, and he got rid of asthma by running. And I can understand where that's coming from, but there's also like there's asthma for people who have underdeveloped lungs, and then there's asthma for fat people. I'm assuming he was fat, so he exercised, lost some weight, and or no, or he was just getting runner's asthma, which is just when you run too much and you're just overworking your lungs. I'm assuming. So, and then my doctor thought maybe I had what he was calling pulmonary triggers disease. Why can't I pronounce words in English? I swear. Pulmonary triggers disease. And that's pretty much like if I have allergies, atmospheric allergies. So like for example, pollen, sunlight for some reason. That's what I don't know how the hell you test sunlight, but apparently that's a thing. Allergic to sunlight, and you get like I try not to sneeze because once I start sneezing, I don't stop, and that induces me of getting like a nasal infection or like coughing or sick. So that's why I don't do it. Like, and where the fuck was I going with this? I was talking about asthma. All right, so pretty much like you get an allergy attack or you go through pollen dust, whatever, and what it does, it mimics the attack of like an asthma attack. So that's why you need like a rescue inhaler. But in reality, your lungs work fine. Your body just can't deal with the fact that there's so much stuff going on, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who have to deal with very serious forms of asthma. I think mine was just in pre-developing stages and it stayed that way. Um, but there's other people who just aren't so lucky and just have the chronic pain of just having not even to do much in life because they're just struggling with that disease, and it sucks, you know. But benefits to it is the fact that you can actually use it to your advantage when you're trying to pick up people. And I only used it once where I was actually having an attack, and then my ex brought me my inhaler, and then I used it, and then I took advantage of that moment and told him like, sorry, it wasn't nothing serious, but you just took my breath away. He didn't think that was funny. I mean, I thought it came to me last minute that moment, so he's mad at me still. So hey babe, I miss you. Please, just I know you're still pissed, but like, come on. And no pickup lines I've ever done worked. It was just my sheer stupidity and ability to make them laugh that got me that first date. But now we're separated, so I don't know what more. Okay, do you guys ever get those moments where you just forget what you're doing? And just, I was reading of Mice and Men. I actually didn't read that in school and ended up reading it at work because I was annoyed of listening to people there just do their stupidity. And I was listening to Mice and Men, and I was like, I don't understand why. Leave a comment down below if like, what was the dude's deal with the rabbits? Um, like I don't understand it. He was just obsessed with rabbits, and like I get it. It was that story that was fucked, man. This is horrible. But like I don't understand the part with the rabbits. But then as I'm reading, like well, it was an audiobook, but like it was as I was like listening to it, and then it was like I don't know 7 a.m. No, that was there was sunlight out. Like it was no 9:30, and the sun was super high, and it was gleaming through one of those air vents at my work, and I literally like was so into the story I freaked out and like I was like, what the fuck did that cat come from? And then my coworker's like, what do you mean? Like, what the fuck happened? He's like, I don't. I just thought I saw a fucking cat. And he's like, dude, are you high on something? I was like, no, you know what? I'm high on books. I was listening to that shit, and it's like, dude was like, I don't fucking like, what's his name? Lenny, George, Lenny. Yeah, I think his name was Lenny. And he was all like, yeah, I'm not. I don't want no damn cats in the ranch because I want to take care of the rabbits and I'm gonna pet them and I'm gonna feed the rabbits, but we ain't gonna get no cats because cats eat rabbits. I hate cats, but I'm gonna take care of it. I actually that's embarrassing. I stutter for real. Like I just got stuck, and he was like, no, I'm George is gonna be mad at me, and he won't let me tend to the rats no more." And and then the girl was being like, "What's the matter with y'all? What's wrong with me? Y'all, I can't talk to y'all nobody no more." And she was basically just going after Lenny and just like being a freaking tart with an E. And just fucking he petted her to death and she I mean it's not funny that she died, it's a book. But it was just like she was asking for it and she knew he crushed her husband's hand because he was defending himself. But then she went and threw her sour conch at him. And then he accidentally sucked it. I was like, dude, that book was fucked up. But like, I mean, shit, man. That was a trip. Like, children, read more books. People, read more books. Read more books. It's freaking worth it. Especially books like that. Like, fuck, man. Uh, should be like a reading rainbows or shit. Anyway, what was I talking about? I remember this one time at my old job because I used to work at farmers markets, and I think I worked for like 5 years. And I used to have a neighbor that her family owned a ranch in Santa Maria. They grew strawberries and like greens, but like the regular greens that Americans know. And I think one time I ran out of medicine, and I don't know. Every single time, I think the market was on Sundays. Every single time we would do that market, we would always laugh in our spare time because she would tell me what she did during the week, and I would tell her what I did during the week and how my relationship's going to shit, or what I can do to make it better, stuff like that. You know, girl talk. And by the way, like I knew her when she was 16, and like we became best friends ever since. But we just like market siblings or whatever. And I forgot my medication. I ran out, and then she was telling me about this girl who was just like not pathetic, but like she was very emotional, depressed, not suicidal, because she was into this dude, and then she finally like told how she felt to the dude, and they were going out, and then he kind of dumped her for a guy, but then he dumped the guy for her, but then he ended up with a girl, and then she was like, instead of like just being like, you know what, I don't need someone to treat me like that, you know, I need someone to treat me better. Uh, and then from there we segue. She showed. Oh, I remember what she did. She showed me a picture of her niece that gets her phone and uses Snapchat filters. And there's this one that makes her seem like a Beck, which is like a black-eyed kid. Like so, her eyes all become completely black. And she was like, since her niece is a little bit round in the cheeks, she also put the fat booth filter. And basically, so you have like a very round face, plump face with like little itty bitty demon possessed eyes, and then like her little tiny mouth was open. So I literally laughed and almost like I think I triggered an attack. So I was literally dying of laughter, and I told her, "Hey, just you can't make me laugh anymore because if I do, I won't be able to breathe and I'll die." And we was just in a panic, but we couldn't stop because that's like the only like the times where we actually just so anything we do is just funny or like see retarded ass shit like because the people there at that market are like crazy sometimes. And we were just laughing, and I got to the point where I just couldn't breathe and ended up on the floor and passed out until my other friend brought like some kind of emergency medication, so it helped me out. But I was like, asthma. Sometimes it's worth dying of laughter. Other times it's not. So it's a hard life. Anyway, what I discovered in that helps in living with asthma, especially health wise, is first of all, onions used to be the albuterol from back in the day. Onions, garlic, and some other shit. I don't know why, but it's a superfood. Second, common sense, in my opinion, because my common sense. If you have less weight on you, your body has to work less, especially your lungs and heart, to pump oxygen to your whole body. So the less weight you have, the less work it has to go through, and the less strenuous and difficult to breathe you'll struggle with. So, especially in the back area, because that's where your lungs are, in the back of your back, and or like, you know, I don't, lumbar, upper lumbar, and like if there's less weight there too, it feels like you have more space in your body and you're able to breathe more. And also breathe like an opera singer. Don't breathe like, breathe into your stomach like, that's an unflattering shot. Breathe in through your stomach, hold it in for like a second, and just like try to always maintain yourself relaxed and like in a composed state of mind, because more relaxed you are, the less panic you are, and you're able to breathe more. So we got a dog. Anyways, yeah, so you're able to breathe more, and you don't have to struggle as much. So I I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys. Well, I'm probably gonna shoot another video in this same angle because I want to talk. Like, this is a real talk channel, so that was just my opinion on asthma, or my facts on asthma. Don't quote me on that. You'll probably like look stupid. So next up, video about farmers markets, and also I don't fucking know. So I'll see you guys later. And Sour Conscious, Lucy out. Turn off. Karen. Karen. Oh.